Welcome to another episode of Inside Franklin Athletics. I'm your host, John Shepard.
And I'm your co-host, Chase Stanger.
And today we have varsity soccer player Emma Williams.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. So playing varsity all 4 years, how does that just help with your leadership?
I would say that I have had a lot of older mentors that have helped me become a leader for this team. Addie Marshall being one of them. She always brought a positive attitude to Franklin. And the leaders on this team, especially like Morgan Harvey, they just always have a positive attitude. And I think that we learned a lot of that from Addie.
So with you and Morgan being the captains, how has it been like taking the young ones under your wing and kind of relaying your positive mindset onto them and giving some influence on them?
I would say that we're definitely still learning. Morgan has taught me a lot. She always has a positive attitude. She's always giving the whole team fist bumps. She's always pumping them up for the game. And I would say just on the leadership aspect, we want to be there for our players and we want to make sure that everyone's getting along and that our tone is proper and that we're not yelling at other players and that we know everything that's going on the team and that we're willing to help all the players.
Yeah.
So with you guys starting off on a rocky start, just what have you guys done to put that behind you and just focus on the future and sectionals?
I would say definitely a positive mindset. We know that the teams that we go against, we need to work. We need to work harder than everyone out on that field to keep it within a close score. We have a very hard schedule. We play Center Grove, Columbus North. Those are both very high-ranked teams in the state. And I would say that going into those games, we know that we have to play hard. And even the teams that we might be more leveled with, we still know that we have to put the ball in the back of the net and play harder than everyone else.
Yeah, so tell me about the first couple of losses you guys had. What would you say kind of went wrong?
So our first game was Greenwood, and we ended up going to PKs with them. That was a game. I think we learned a lot. We were learning about the players that we were playing with, the new varsity players, the new freshmen. We have a couple of freshmen starting.
And they have a turf field, right?
Yes, the turf was definitely a game changer because it's fast moving. Our touches aren't as clean, and that's hard in the first game. And it's just fast moving, so it tells you how much in shape you actually are. Mm-hmm. And coming off of summer playing on grass, it was definitely different. But then after that, we went straight to Shelbyville, which just was a rough game for us. And we learned a lot from that game, and then Columbus North, which we knew that was going to be a rough game for us. We knew that we were going to have to play hard because it was their senior night too. So
you'd say that there's a huge difference between turf and grass?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so tell me about your guys' sectional change. There is a change this year, right?
Yeah, so Center Grove got moved out, but Franklin Central and Roncalli got moved in. So definitely a plus for having Center Grove moved out, but both of the teams that moved into our sectional are very good. We've already played Roncalli this year, so we know that they're going to be strong.
So through all the years you've played soccer, is there any former player that's left an impact on you, and if so, why?
I would definitely say on a professional level, Carly Lloyd. I'm number 10 because of her. I play in the midfield because of her. She was my biggest idol. But more on a person that I've actually met, Addie Marshall. She just always brought a positive attitude, like I said, and she was the hardest worker. I think Franklin's seen in a while, especially on the girls' side. She always wanted to work. She always put in the time outside of practice to get better.
Yeah, describe your off-season work with playing in summer leagues, practice on your own, and I know you play a couple other sports too, so tell me how that kind of interferes with it.
So as soon as school soccer ends after fall break, I go straight into club soccer, and we train twice a week inside all the way until February, which is when actual games start. And I balance that with tennis in the winter, so I go to UND and I play tennis inside. So sometimes double practices a night is common, but in the spring I play full travel, and I play tennis that time too. So, but summer for school soccer is when we get in shape and yeah.
So I got a question that you wanted me to ask. What is your pregame routine? What do you do?
Okay, this is kind of weird, but I always eat mac and cheese before the game. My mom's homemade mac and cheese, and she brings it to me.
How do you not barf it up on the field?
That's like the one thing that I have I don't know. I have acid reflux. That's the one thing that does not bother my stomach. It's actually really weird. And then Gatorade protein bars. Those are also my favorite. So.
Yeah, I think we have one more question, John. The one that we didn't want to ask, but we kind of have to. So, what's the plan after high school?
I don't know yet. I want to go for academics first, and then maybe try and play a sport if I go to a smaller school. I don't know where I want to go, so see when we get there.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gucci.
Of course.
That was another episode of Inside Franklin Athletics.